flyer. Too many people on a bandwagon. Done been through that hellfire. Came out lethal like a red dragon. Same old rapper with the same old flows. Color dreads with the pants sagging. Got that fame, but you sold your soul. You a warlock, I'm the dark assassin. Said thick stacks, mode change, big bags, faux chains. Get that money, said big facts, no gains, big stats, mo fame. We back done said big names on stage, big trap, no shame. Going and running that big check, my name, sign that, more rain. Come back home and just come up, hey, let's be with that drama.
Oh, it's the Daily Sleeves, fam. Here we go. Here we go. Papa Swole, yo. Here we go. Let's go. Make some sick fucking gains, ho. Oh. Fitness without the bullshit.
The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. The bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, test, testicles, pinch your nips, testing, testicles, nipples, testicles, testing. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 949 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, slaycast, and beardcast, coffeecast, Saturday cast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. I'm gonna keep on talking deeper and deeper. Yeah, this is how we're gonna talk now. This is the Daily Swole, number 939, bitches. What is going on, sluts? Hello, puppets. Thank you for joining me live on Facebook, on Instagram, on Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere that Swolenormous drops fucking content, which is everywhere. Thank you. And, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ooh, Wisconsin's cloudy. It is hotter again in Florida. It was cold as fuck for a day, and then it's hot as shit again. So global warming is real. We all know that. If you don't believe in it, you're pretty much a fucking idiot. I said it. Get butthurt over it. I am so amped up and hyped up on caffeine. This is going to be a great episode. Some other news, things in the news, in my news, Papa Swolio news, Swole time. Make sure that you check the Instagram feed. Make sure you check the Instagram feed, because I just posted in the feed, we have Q&A, Super Swole, Sunday Fun Day, Swole Q&A, Q and Swole, all that shit's going down tomorrow. So make sure you drop a comment and a question or a topic or a talking point, something in the comments underneath that post. I just posted a little while ago on Instagram, so make sure you check that out. I'll also drop something in my story. That way you can jump in on that. So that will be the deal yo-yo tomorrow. Make sure you check the story, check the feed. The feed is probably a little bit better. It's easier for me to see the whole question. So why don't you just go over there on my latest post and drop a question for tomorrow. We'll get to every single one, if possible. Si possible. What's going on? Just got back from the gym because we train on the weekend. I just got back from slamming my fucking butt titties. I am tight as a fucking nun right now in my glutes. Glutes are number one. Today is a glute episode. We're talking booty. And there's been a bunch of messages, DMs, all that good shit, emails, swole mails, everything about back pain. We talked about that a couple days ago. And the glutes, I want to come back to it, because every time I see someone train legs, because I did legs today at the gym, there was like 3 people there, but every time I see someone train legs, they don't have, 1, they don't have good form, or 2, they don't do any kind of strength, isolation, endurance, activation. They don't do any real quality glute targeting. They don't do any quality glute targeting exercises. And when I discuss quality exercises, it means proper form. Okay. When we are trying to activate a muscle, when we're trying to fire a muscle, get it going, it's not enough just to do the exercise A to B. It's not like, hey, I'm going to do hip bridges and I just do up and down. It's how you do the hip bridges, right? It's the same concept as nutrition. What do I always say, fam? What do I always say? It's not how much you eat. It's what you're eating. It's not the fucking calories. It is what those calories are made of, primarily. Okay, that's the first step. Make sure you're eating the right foods. Just like glutes. Just like glutes, what's important is how you are doing those exercises. So anytime you do a glute isolation exercise, anytime you do an exercise that is specifically targeting the glutes. Now, what do I mean by that? I am not talking about a squat. I'm not talking about a lunge. Those are not glute targeting exercises. You might say, well, Papa Swolio, I was on Instagram and all the Gymshark girls and their booty programs, they do squats for the peach, they do lunges, and meh, 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 meh. That's because they're fucking idiots. Any kind of compound exercise is multi-joint. When you do a squat, when you do a lunge, when you do a Romanian deadlift, when you do any kind of multi-joint exercise, a compound movement, that is not an activation. That will not directly work your glutes unless you are activating them properly first. This is why the warm-up period of your training is very important. That's why glute activation, isolation, single joint, targeting exercise are important before you do those exercises in your workout. You want to make sure you're activating and firing the glutes before you start doing those compound movements. And it's not as simple as, oh, I've never activated my glutes before. Let me do a couple glute activation exercise and go do squats. It's not going to work that simple. You have to do it regularly and consistently. It's corrective exercise. You're going to have to do that for weeks and months to correct depending on what your problem is and what your movement impairments are. So because your glutes are not firing properly, you're not going to get the right effect. You're not going to get the assistance. You're not going to get the activation or the integration of the glutes during your squat, during your lunges, during your RDLs, during all those movements. So if you're doing lunges and you're feeling it in your hamstrings, if you're doing squats and you're feeling it in the quads, those work, those muscles work, but those should not be where you're feeling all of your effort. That should not be where you, oh, I'm feeling crushed there, but nowhere else. You need to be firing the glutes. The glutes need to be the muscle that is doing the most work during those movements. It's going to help you with your overall strength. It's going to help you with your leg development. Very, very important. Okay. And those activation exercises need to be done with perfect form, not average form, perfect form. Now that perfect form is going to look a little bit different for each person, right? Not everyone is going to have the same look. Not everyone has the same joint limb length. Not everyone has the same body structure, but by and large, it's going to be the same form. By and large, you need to have perfect form because when you are doing activation, what that means is you are remapping your brain's communication with the muscles. You are reteaching your body, your brain, how to talk to the muscles. And that has to be done very specifically. That has to be done directly and deliberately. And your body is going to try to detour around that movement because it's not used to it. You're not currently mapped to that movement. You're not currently mapped to that activation. So your brain is going to resist it. That's why you have to force it into a corner. You have to force it to respond to this specific activation. And I just see people doing hip bridges, arching their back too much. I see people doing all sorts of exercises that are ignoring, and it's probably because they just don't know any better, but it is completely missing the fundamental form that would activate the glutes during an integrated movement, and they're fundamentally missing the proper form during their activation. So even when I see people doing hip bridges, most people aren't doing them properly. They're missing the muscle. They're working more hamstrings. They're working more of their lower back. They are detouring to get the weight from A to B. Most people go too heavy and don't focus on the form, and then their body just reverts back to what it's used to, which is not activating the glutes properly. Most people just lift the weights and want to get from A to B and arch their back, round their back, squirm, whatever they want to do to get the weight up, no matter what the exercise is. And that's not how training is done. It's not about the weight. It's not about getting from A to B. It's how you get from A to B. Just like calories, it's about what you are consuming, not how much at the base level. And that's the most important thing. And I see that all the time. And today I specifically saw it, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to rage on it today, because it's very important. Did an episode the other day, 934, Fix Your Back. That is a great one to go listen to. Does running train your glutes? No. It uses your glutes, but not really. Not really. You're not going to get big glutes by running. And running is usually done with poor form too. People wear sneakers, and if you're wearing a sneaker to go running, you have bad form. You have bad form for running if you're wearing running shoes. If you're running heel to toe, you have fundamentally bad form and you're jacking the fuck up out of your back, out of your body, and out of your knees, and you'll pay the price long term. That's a whole other conversation. That goes down to posture, but it's very similar. It's very similar. You're changing the way your body naturally moves, and your body is very adaptive. Your body is going to move in different directions. It's going to arch different things. It's going to bend a different way. Your body will do whatever it can to survive and do what you're trying to do. Now, if it has clogs on or high heels, aka sneakers, if you have those pieces of equipment, your body is going to work around those things or do its best. And that's where usually injuries come into play, because you're changing the fundamental structure of how your body moves. And you're changing your coordination. You're changing that message that the body has to send to the muscles, because you're putting things in the way. You're putting challenges and obstacles in the way. You're changing the joint position. You're changing how the heel lands. You're changing the angle of the ankle and the knee and blah, blah, blah. What up? What's going on, fam? So how many of you do glute activation? How many of you know what the fuck that is? I have posted a bunch of workouts. Those of you that are in Swolenormous X, you have some glute awareness programming coming to the program section. So you already have your shoulder awareness, couple levels in there. And I just vomited programs and workouts into Swolenormous X last night. So, excuse me, those of you that are members of Swolenormous X, you will see that there's a little live chat alert that lets you know. Go check the updates tab in Swolenormous X, and you'll see all the new programs and the new workouts, and there's a lot more coming. So this is very important. This is very important stuff. And if you have chronic back pain, chronic knee pain, ankle pain, neck pain, chances are it's coming from your glutes, which translates up the spine and translates down towards the feet. So it's a big problem. It's a big problem in society because of what we do. It's because we're more sedentary, and it's all one big system. It's because of all those fucking things. It's just a process. It's a cycle. It goes around and around and around. Footwear, I wear my Vibrams. I like minimal shoes. I like the slippers. I like the classics that are only a couple millimeters thick with rubber, and it strengthens your feet. It's the way you're supposed to be. It encourages proper joint alignment, posture, and it'll be very challenging. You have to go very, very light when you start going more barefoot, because your ankles are stressed. Your calves and your Achilles tendon suddenly has a ton of stretch and strain because you're used to having your heels elevated. You know, high heels is probably, even sneakers, but dress shoes and high heels for women is literally the worst thing you could probably do with your posture. So any of you ladies out there that wear high heels every day, you're just compounding fucking up your body. You're just fucking up your knees, you're fucking up your back, you're fucking up your neck. It's just every day you're just adding coats of paint of fucking up your physique. Yeah, it puts a lot of problems. It sets you up for a lot of problems. It sets you up for a ton of instability because it shuts down certain muscles that are very important to be firing, and it tightens up a lot of muscles that are already tight enough as is. So especially people that wear heels and then are seated a lot of the time, you're wearing heels when you're standing and you're sitting down a lot, you're just like doubling, tripling, quadrupling your problems. They look sexy because they cause the lower back to arch and give you a butt that you don't really have. That's why they, quote, look sexy, because the butt is evolution's mimicking of breasts and causes attraction to males. So we fuck you, so we reproduce. That's literally what heels are for. It's for attraction, and it's for enticing the opposite sex to reproduce, because that's what we're here on Earth to do. And that's a huge problem. So ladies, if you want to wear heels, enjoy your knee problems and enjoy your back problems. That's it. And your neck problems and all the other problems, you know. It's extra bad for women because you have wider hips. So you have a lot of pressure on your knees already, or additional from men because you have a wider hip angle. So you're more at risk for things like ACL and meniscus tears. So adding heels into the equation just amplifies that. No, if you have plantar fascia, you shouldn't be running, period, let alone with Vibrams. You probably won't have the issue if you heal your plantar fasciitis, but if you do have that, you have to fix that. And plantar fasciitis is a byproduct of wearing heels in often cases, because footwear has arch supports and the elevated ankle. So you're doing a couple things. You're weakening the bone structure, weakening the tendons, the ligaments, and all the things that hold the bones of the foot together. And you're also elevating the heel, which shortens the calves, which puts a lot of pressure on the lower back when you're wearing them. And when you take off your shoes, or a lot of times your feet might hurt because your feet are weak. And also your calves are stretching a lot more because finally you're putting your feet back to a flat level, and then it's causing tension around your knees and around your back. Yeah. Think about what people normally do. You'll wear heels all day. Let's talk about women particularly, but you'll wear heels all day, and then you'll go to the gym, wear sneakers, which are a little bit lower than your heels, and then you put your body under stress, and then you squat and you crunch. Why do you think most people can't get deep with their squats? Because their ankles are so fucking tight. The knee can't translate forward. You can't get that dorsiflexion. You can't get that shin towards the front of your foot enough because you have very, very tight calves. Your ankles are very locked up. So it's a combination of that shortened position with the tendon, but it's also the angle is changed, but it's also very stiff. So it's like locked in. You're putting your foot in a fucking cast. You're compressing your toe box, you're compressing your feet, and you're weakening your arch, you're weakening the muscles, and you're changing the ankle around you're changing the ankle angle. Trying not to get tongue tied here. It's really bad. It's really bad. I'm not overstating this issue. It's a huge fucking problem. And this is the kind of stuff that people, this isn't abs. This isn't biceps. This isn't bigger chest or bigger arms, or I'm trying to get, this isn't superficial training that people do. This takes like actual yoga, stretching, myofascial release, practice, activation exercises, and corrective exercise. This is the stuff that people don't do because it's not glamorous. You don't look in the mirror and be like, man, my anterior tibialis is fucking yoked. No one does that. So no one actually goes through this process, and they end up regretting it when they fucking herniate a disc, or they blow out their knee, or they have chronic pain for fucking decades. They're like, I wonder what happened. I don't know. I work every day. I'm just getting old, man. I'm just getting old. No, and fucking no. No, and fucking no. I did this from Instagram, W20489. I did a free trial with a trainer at the gym recently. All I could think the entire time is how Papa Swole would eat this man alive. Oh God, what happened? People don't know this. And then if they learn it in their certification, they don't understand it well enough, or its importance to actually teach or to integrate it. And a lot of this stuff isn't glamorous. So if you show your clients this, if you're actually a trainer in the field and you're trying to bring this to their attention, they're not going to be like, why am I spending $80 an hour? For doing corrective. This is boring. I'm not losing fat enough. I don't look ripped. Look at that person over there. They're lifting heavy weights and they see you and you're going like really slow and you're doing correctives. Although you're doing the most important shit, they want to do fucking CrossFit and high intensity cardio and fucking HIIT training and shit. So, they'll go do that. And of course, that kind of stuff will lose fat. But at the foundation, that's the long term versus the short term. People try to lose fat and build muscle before they have the right foundation, because that's what people want. People are impatient. So they think, I'm just going to fucking crush myself, lose all this weight, but they end up getting hurt, and then they have a setback and they gain weight and they fall off. So how good was it to jump into the hardcore training? Well, in retrospect, not that fucking smart of an idea, because you end up hurting yourself and then you're not consistent anymore and you're back where you started. So it's a waste of time. Plus, when you start doing this type of corrective exercise and balancing, and you actually approach your training the proper way, you feel better. You have less tension in your body because you're balancing out the joints. It's such a liberating feeling. It's like meditating. It's like physical meditation. You balance out this constant tension. When you're sitting down a lot, when your knees are bent, your hips are bent, when you're elevating your heels, you have a lot of tension in your muscles. Your body is like locked into a cage with shoes and footwear, and in a car, you're locked into a position. When you create that mobility, you release all that stress. You balance it out, you feel better, and then you feel better mentally, and then it translates back and you keep on going. And then when you're doing your strength training, you reduce your injury risk dramatically. Your body looks better, your posture looks better, you sit back more, your shoulders are pulled back, you feel more confident, you feel better about yourself, happier. It's all that shit. It's such a compounding thing, but people don't see that. It's like planting a seed. Oh, it's just a fucking seed, so what? Well, in 20 years, it's going to be a big, beautiful tree. So much for dogging on that seed, right? If you take care of it properly, it's going to be a huge tree. If you try to get it to grow faster and, pump it full of chemicals and shit, it might grow a little bit, might stunt its growth. You might get a little bit of fruit and then it'll die. Not the best approach long term, right? And life is long. You have this body, you have one body, so you really should be approaching it by taking care of it. You fuck it up. You can get joint replacements now and all that stuff, but first off, it's not cheap and it's not perfect either. It's not like I don't know how many, it's not like one of those, science fiction shows where, let me just get a new arm. Let me just get a new leg and it's perfect. No, it's going to be hard to move. It's not going to be anywhere near what the original is. We're not there yet. People trains following urban legends. Well, people do what they always have done in anything, right? People don't like change. People don't like to do things different. They hear a couple things or they see someone that they know. People listen to people in their circle, right? Someone's friend does keto and they lost weight. Wow, keto works. Let me do keto. When they don't even know if that's good for them. They don't know anything about it, how to actually do it properly. They don't even know what ketosis is. And they just follow fucking eating cheese and tacos and bread and whatever shit that they see online. They Google something or they follow whatever their friend did and they do it for a little bit. They feel like shit or they feel good temporarily and they fall off of it. And people do dumb shit like that all the time, especially without even knowing if that's good for them genetically, because some people are better with that than others. But people are always jumping into the deep end of the pool without realizing that there's other options, that you have to have some patience and have to invest your time wisely. People just jump into shit and think, hey, I'm just going to get fucking results because, Susie got results. And that's not how it fucking works. Most people don't get results. That is an unofficial statistic. I don't have numbers on that. Most people don't get results. Why? Right? Why? Why do most people not get results? Because most people quit. Most people don't do it right. And everything else in between. Most people don't. Most people don't get results. And that's the truth. Most people don't get results. Most people that try to approach their fitness X, Y, and Z will not get results because they're not doing it right. They're not approaching their fitness the right way. That's why my stuff, Swolenormous X, what we do here in the Daily Swole, that's why it's different. But it's the right way to do it. It's the right way to do it. And if you start on this path in this manner, you're far less likely to fall off. You're far less likely to quit because you actually make the changes and the progress that makes a fucking difference. You actually make the progress that makes a difference, that makes you want to keep going because it actually helps you as a human fucking being. It's not this superficial bullshit that just exhausts you. We're talking about your life, everything, mind, body, and soul, all that shit. It's all very, 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 very important. Most people don't have the patience and they just jump right in. They want results fast. Not possible. Not possible. You want results fast? Well, if you have 5 pounds to lose, okay, you might lose 5 pounds in a month. Hey, you got results. I got results quickly. What kind of, what kind of goal is that? What kind of long-term goal is that? It's not the right approach. It's not the right approach. If you're looking for quick results, you've already failed. Pretty much essentially, if you want fast results, you've already failed. Up here, you failed up here. You're not approaching it the right way. You're extremely at high risk for falling short and not continuing, not being consistent. My dad doesn't let me drink protein shakes, and he says it's no good for me. It isn't natural, and I should just stick with getting protein from food. What's your opinion on protein? I agree with your dad. Eat real food. I don't drink protein shakes. Waste of money. What do you feel about rest days? I don't think you should take a rest day. I think every day that you're not doing resistance training should be yoga, active recovery, some type of mobility. I know you will hate me for this, but I started to get results since I started to count calories and macros. Well, you will lose weight if you restrict your calories, potentially, but you'll also cause a lot of inflammation. A lot of people do that, but a lot of people get lucky too. If you go into a dark room, Benedetto, if you go in a dark room with a bunch of darts, every once in a while you're going to hit the dartboard and maybe you'll actually get a bullseye. Doesn't mean you're actually doing it properly. It just means that you get lucky. So you probably counted calories and macros with some foods that were actually beneficial to you in some way, but you might see a lot more results, feeling better. You probably feel a lot better if you actually approach it with an elimination diet and then started looking at your calories and macros. It's more important what you're consuming than going for that first. But oftentimes you can get lucky. You can get lucky. The body is very resilient. So if you don't do an elimination, your body, you don't notice how you feel. You don't notice how you're reacting to foods because your body has built up defenses against all the shit that you've been eating. So, there's a lot of improvements. So if you focus primarily on what you're consuming, you'll see results. And then you can get more detailed with counting and shit if you want to. Yeah, yoga on rest days is the best thing. It's the best thing. It'll keep you consistent because it'll help you repair. It'll help you recover. And it's a great yin and yang. It's a great complement to resistance training. You don't want to be going hard all the time. You can't be crushing all the fucking time. You can't be crushing all the time. If you're going to the gym and you're just trying to smash all the time, oh, you're stressed out, you're going to the gym to release stress, that's going to be very, very temporary. It's not going to last because your stress isn't coming physically. It's coming from your emotional and psychological mismanagement and your lack of meditation, your lack of cleaning out what's going on in your head. So you get this temporary, like, you know, endorphin release and you feel good temporarily, but then it's going to come back. Like, you have to be attacking your cerebral shit cerebrally, and then you have to be attacking your physical shit physically. And that's where the corrective exercise, the balance, the glute activation comes to balance out your physical misalignments and distortions, and likewise, you know, above the neck with your taking care of your brain. I do not eliminate, I reduce, I eat everything. You're going to regret that someday, bro. I'm just telling you. I would do an elimination. I would absolutely do that because just counting calories and counting macros is obsessive. It's not necessary for the body, and it's a fundamental problem with how most people approach their nutrition. You'll see more results if you actually figure out what's best for your body, and then you can monitor your caloric intake, and then that's fine. If you want to get, you know, really have your finger on it and really obsess over your calories and your macros and measure every last thing, that's fine. But you need to be doing that with the best foods. And if you say you eat everything, then you're absolutely not eating the best foods, and you're looking at your results as in terms of, oh, do I see my abs or do I look a little bit leaner? That does not mean that you're healthier. That does not mean that you're taking care of your body. Doesn't mean that at all. You know, you could be fucking shredded to the bone and get cancer from polluting your fucking gut your entire life. How did you learn to do yoga? You fucking go and you do it. You don't waste time asking questions. You fucking start Googling. You go to a yoga studio. You just start going. We have a full yoga studio in Swole X, but that's not how I learned to do yoga. That's just what I provide now for my community. But start doing yoga. Yeah, you just take fucking action. I mean, there's tons of shit online, but there's a lot of jabroni shit, but you have to figure out what works best for you. You could practice yoga on your own. You don't need equipment, but it's always great to go take a class or watch a quality yoga video. You know, that's why we do yoga in Swole X. That's why we have the full yoga studio. So you have exactly what you need when you need it. But it's very, very important to practice. It's very important to start. Hell yeah, that's Swolga. Swolga yoga. Swole Normus, what up, Ole? I guess I need your, well, I've done many episodes on nutrition. I've done many episodes on the elimination diet, done many, 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 many episodes. So if you scroll down, you'll see elimination. Did one recently, probably in the last 2 weeks on elimination, on on the difference. Yeah, yoga is the best. No doubt. No doubt. Let's bring it back to the glutes, fam. So it's very important the glutes are literally number one. If you are not focusing on balancing your body, if you're not focusing on what we discussed today in terms of balancing the body, does it mean you can't get results? No. Does it mean that you're going to get hurt? Guaranteed? No. You're just dramatically missing out on increased strength, increased mobility, increased muscle development. You're missing out, and you're putting yourself in a much higher risk category. So for anyone, especially for those of you that are dealing with existing pain or recurring injuries, this is not even negotiable. If you feel fine and you feel great and you don't do anything like that, some people dodge the bullet for a long time, but don't you want more results? Don't you want to be doing stuff that's going to get you in a better place? Don't get lazy on me, right? Like, if you want more results and you want to do better, then do better. Then do it. Doesn't have to be entertaining for it to work. If you want results, you fucking do what it takes. People worry too much about fun and entertainment. Fitness is not supposed to be fun. Can you have fun doing fitness? Sure, you can have fun doing anything. You could have fun fucking doing making model cars. Some people might think it's fucking ridiculous, but if you want the end result and you want to make little model cars, and guess what? You're going to have to do the shit that it takes to build a fucking model car. Some people are going to like it more than others. If you want abs, you might not like what it takes to get them. Who fucking cares? Either you want to do it or you don't. Do you want abs? Oh, I don't want to do it. Then fucking don't have abs. End of story. Do you want to build muscle? Yeah. Well, do you want to eat extra calories and all that? Oh, I don't know. It's a lot of work. I don't know if I can. Then don't fucking do it. Then don't get it. Then don't have more muscle. Then don't build muscle. You know, I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to make the point that if you want the fucking results, you're going to have to do what it takes, whether you like it or not. It's just that fitness is something that you see physically on someone's body. Most people don't do hobby type things if they don't enjoy it. But everyone wants abs, everyone wants a body, but some people don't like it. Well, it's boring and this and so fucking what? So what? It's like anything else. If you want to be a doctor, you got to go to medical school. Well, I don't like medical school. Well, then don't be a doctor. It's literally like the most common sense thing you can possibly think of. Common sense. Ben, I just incorporated weighted hip thrusts into my leg routine this past month. Absolutely love it. You got it, bro. Trisha, how much glute activation would you suggest? I do 2 sets of 20 hip bridges, then the one with the bands around your knees. If you're doing lateral tube walking, it's around your ankles, it's not around your knees. I don't know where the fuck, I don't know why people are doing that, putting it above their knees. It should be around your lower leg. Most people that put it above their knees they're doing it completely wrong. Completely wrong. I even see professionals posting videos with that, and I'm like, that's just not good form. You can just see it. Yeah, but the lateral tube walking is done with the bands lower. It's around your lower leg, just above your ankle bone. Your malleolus. Again, eat healthy, stay active, take some quality time for yourself, and set positive goals. Nothing is guaranteed in life, so if you have a healthy body, consider yourself blessed. Well, it takes a lot of fucking hard work, so if you have a healthy body, it's because you're putting in the fucking work to do it. I mean, glute activation before a workout, let me rephrase all what I just said. Glute activation before a workout is just part of it. That doesn't activate your glutes and make the glutes work perfectly. You need to do directed glute activation training, full workouts specifically and only for glute activation over the course of weeks and perhaps months, depending on what your compensations are, to fully activate the glutes. Then you start integrating it back with your compound movements, because just going to the gym, doing some lateral tube walking, some hip bridges, if you have a lot of problems, that's not necessarily going to be enough to fully activate the glutes and to fix your problem, even if you do that regularly. You need to do focused training and focused attention in order to build that reconnection, and then start adding some other aspects to your training, and then add those multi-joint movements, add certain more integrated movements. That's the way you'll get the quickest fix, so to speak, in terms of activating your glutes overall. Yeah, you could do it before your workouts, but there's actually specific glute activation protocols that you can be doing as your leg day separately in more volume that's going to help activate the muscles. Remember, you're teaching your brain to fire the muscles specifically. And one of the problems with that is your joints are out of fucking position because there's so much tension and so much compounded misalignment from sitting down, from proper shoe wear, from bad form. It's not going to be undone in like a pre-workout ritual. It's going to be done by targeting it for weeks and weeks and then making it a habit. And then the activation afterwards will keep them activated and just reminds the body before the workout, let's get these glutes firing, so they're more likely to fire in an integrated fashion. But you could easily do a couple sets of glute activation, then you go to your squats and the glutes just kind of shut down again because you go back to your old habits. Your body is very resistant to doing new movement patterns because it's been trained for months, years, decades to bend and to have certain joint alignments and muscle lengths and blah, 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 you know, as is. So you're really working through some existing issues, and some people have more severe problems than others. You know, some people are going to have more issues than others, and it'll take longer to fix them. So, you know, some people just have really bad posture. Some people have terrible posture. Some people have really strong, severe imbalances, and that takes longer to fix. So it depends on your situation. And most people they don't have good, intelligent training. They don't have people that are knowledgeable that can actually help them, or they're impatient enough and they don't realize because they're not explained properly, or they're not willing to put in that kind of effort over a longer period of time. People want fucking results. I want to see my abs. I want to get in shape. I want to lose weight for this. I want to look at this a certain way. I want to build. I want to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, bro. So they don't even address this, and then down the line they herniate their back or they fuck something up, and then they're out of working out, and then they gain weight and they fall off, and then they come message me, hey man, I've been in and out of the gym, I just can't find my motivation, help me. I'm like, you first off, you didn't ask a question. I can't help you unless you're helping yourself. It's like people just want a fucking handout. What, so you can just fall off the wagon again? I'm not in this for a quick fix. If you're going to come ask me like, hey, I need help with motivation, help me. No, get off your fucking ass and help yourself. I'll give you the programs. What's that going to do? Help me? You still have to fucking do it. I'm not going to brush your teeth for you. What are you going to do? You're going to have to motivate yourself. You're going to have to inspire yourself. And motivation is a fucking crock of shit. So if you keep on depending on trying to feel like it, you never will. You have to do it until it's a habit, and then you just keep on doing it. And that's very, very difficult for people to do. Will you ever do some kind of tutorial on how to do exercises? Literally, that's entirely what Swolenormous X is. It's an entire massive fucking archive of all exercises, programs, instructional videos. It's all there. Bro Chacho, I got posture like Icarus because my gains are sickerous. The fuck? What? What was that? Holy shit, someone's already sipping on the sauce, right? It's Saturday night. Someone's already a little tipsy. Someone's already tipsy. But yeah, I mean, we do tutorials all the time. We do master classes in Swolenormous X, stream them live. So what we're going to be doing is this coming week, those of you that are in Swolenormous X, we'll be doing a master class. I'm not sure what we're going to do. If it's going to be for pull-ups, negatives, there's going to be a whole glute activation because some new programs are going to be released this week. So depending on what content gets dropped this coming week, it'll be probably a master class based on all the programming that we just dropped this past weekend and probably everything that gets dropped up until this coming week. So a lot of more stuff is coming. So it'll probably be a whole instructional breaking down all the new updates to X and, you know, the new glute program that's going to be coming. The glute awareness, will be going over all the new program structures and all the other stuff. So there's a lot of stuff coming that I haven't released yet, upcoming to the next masterclass. So I can't speak on everything that's going to be released, but like you already know, yesterday there was like 5 or 6 new programs and 4 or 5 new workouts and, you know, just getting started. So a lot of stuff coming. What age did you start working out at? Preston, I'll tell you what, go comment on my feed and ask any question that you want. We'll get to that tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be the Swole Q&A. I started working out when I was a teenager. But any questions, remember, tomorrow is a Swole Q&A. I'll be answering every individual question. So make sure you post on or comment on the picture on my Instagram feed, and it will, I'll read them and I will address them all tomorrow. And then you can ask questions live too. I'll get to as many questions as I can. Let's see. It's hard, Dana. It's hard for a newbie to get it. You just have to trust the process and you'll get there. It's true. And there's really nothing else to say about it. It's literally just straight facts. And, you know, people might say, well, it's easy for you to say. Yeah, it is easy for me to say because I fucking did it. It wasn't easy to do, but it's easy to say once you have it. Of course it is. Of course it's easy for me to say that because it's the fucking truth. You know, I did it myself. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have been lifting consistently like a fucking animal for the past 18, 19 years. Like that's literally what I've done. So what are you going to do about it? Fuck what I did. What are you going to do about it? A lot of you are worried about starting or getting results in 3 months or, hey, I've been working out for 2 months. How come I don't? Because it's been 2 fucking months. I've been working out for 1 or 2 years. Okay, 1 or 2 years, 3 years, you should be seeing some progress. You probably haven't been doing it right. Okay. I did the same thing. I worked out and then there are periods when I gained too much fat. So I'm like, oh, and I realized that and I had to adjust things and just how I'm training, or maybe my knee started bothering me. So I had to adjust and do some more correctives. I got into yoga. I mean, your journey is going to be different. Your journey is going to depend, but you can't assume that's going to happen after a couple months. It's like, yo, you haven't even been putting in, you haven't earned the right to ask, why haven't I seen results yet? A great physique takes a lot of hard work, self-motivation, stone cold focus, and intestinal fortitude. You got to want it. You got to taste it. Ole, you're on fire today. You got to taste it. You got to taste the fucking gains, huh? Progress pictures are okay. It depends on what your goal is. Progress pictures can be motivating, inspiring. You definitely won't see your changes day to day. You definitely won't see changes day to day, but most people think that they will. And one of the issues or one of the illusions with strength training is when you lift weights, you're getting inflammation. Your muscles are swelling temporarily and they're repairing. So you feel pumped, you feel tight, you feel sore. When you do correctives or you start off slowly, you don't you don't see necessarily the same kind of like instant gratification, but it's temporary, right? It doesn't mean that you're building. A lot of times when it comes to strength training, if you're not starting with the proper foundation, you're putting bricks on top of like straw, right? Your foundation is weak and the risk of it all crumbling down is very, very high at some point. Doesn't mean you can't just start lifting weights, but most people that lift weights, if you see them in the gym or any of your friends that are big and they just don't do anything else and they just lift, they're fucking tight as shit and they look all locked up. Like most of these guys on Instagram and stuff, they're like so big, they look like they can't even lift their fucking arms over their head. Like they're just so fucking tight. So tight. And that's just their shoulders, let alone their hips. Most people don't do this shit. I agree, Benedetto. If you think on how much time I need to get results, you're already wasting your time. You just don't have the right mindset. If someone thinks that, they just don't have the right mindset. They're not coming at it from the right direction. You know, they're not coming at it from the right direction. And the mindset is everything. It's just very, very important. It's important. And the thing with fitness is when your abs, you see the abs are physical, right? Oh, you see the shape, you see the definition, you see muscle growth, or you see that everyone's focused on the physical. However, what controls the physical? Everything up here. Everything up here. You talk about motivation. Your body isn't motivated. It's your fucking brain. When you talk about inspiration, it's coming from your brain. When you talk about discipline, it's your fucking brain. The mental game is so much more important than the physical. And everyone's focused on the physical. Well, if I measure my calories and I cut this and I weigh this, that's not what's going to get you results. Because even if that were to be the answer, if you do it once in a while, you're not consistent, you're not disciplined, it's not going to fucking happen anyway. Where do you think consistency comes from? It doesn't come from the scale, the food scale, the weigh scale. It doesn't come from your fucking nipples. It comes from your fucking brain. So when you understand that concept and how important the brain is and your psychology of training and why you're doing it, then you start unlocking a lot of doors and you realize what this is all about. What we're really trying to do here, what the actual fucking end game is. And then you actually can settle down. You don't have the same kind of stress because you're not trying to race your friend for weight loss or try to look good on a fucking Instagram post, which is fucking bullshit. You actually start approaching your health for the right reasons. So keep that in mind. Make sure you go on Instagram and comment on that latest post. Ask questions for tomorrow. And I'll see everyone tomorrow for the Swole Q&A Sunday Fun Day. Make sure you go drop your comment and your question. I'll get to them tomorrow. I'll see everyone tomorrow for episode 940 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swole. Yo, out.